Welcome, everybody, to the official Tinter Battles podcast. I am your host, the glass tinted films like a tinter breeding hell raising trailblazing most tintifying figure, the Texas Squeegee, joined by
Erik,
the omnipotent, all-knowing Tint Wiz, Erik Devash, finally live in living color here at the first official launch of the Tinter Battles podcast. Erik, how are you feeling today? It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. No, go ahead.
I'm feeling tintified. I'm very excited to do this and happy to be in the same studio as you.
Oh yeah, well we decided, of course, we had to do this this tremendous podcast. We've been having a lot of questions and a lot of Tinterest with the explosion of the Tinter Battles popularity going on the Tinternet here today. So, in fact, Erik, you know, a lot of the competition videos that we've been producing have been connecting with a lot of Tinters just like all around the world. I mean, all kinds of languages. It's all types of backgrounds and everybody. I mean, they're connecting with it with a certain different ways. In fact, the last 28 days, we've had over 1.5 million accounts reached. 1.5 million accounts reached.
Wow.
I mean, most people love it. Others, you know, not so favorable of the techniques displayed, which we will go over. But, you know, today we have a very special podcast episode. We are, for today, we have, you know, of course, one of the award-winning competitors.
World champion.
Award-winning
world champion, flat glass.
No, we gotta bring back Ric Flair's words. To be the man, you have to beat the man. To be the champion, you have to beat champions. Which, of course, you know, we'll see if this individual will hold up at the Tinter Battles we have coming up in April the 18th. But nonetheless, he'll be here for a short little Tinter review and get his thoughts as he competes in the bright lights of the Tinter Battles competitions. And also, we will be going over the new virtual window tint competition that Tintertainment is launching to truly bring in the best in the world, no matter where you're from. Sponsored by Tint Wiz, no, of course, of course, sponsored by Tint Wiz. But yeah, how do you feel about, like, you know, we have Tinter Battles coming up, and one of the questions you were posing earlier was the excitement of something new, right? I think that's exciting. Every single Tinter Battles we have is something new. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's always Tinter Battles, right? But it's like reinvented every year, and I feel like has that built a pressure to you, like this high expectation that now exists for every year's Tinter Battles?
No, I think the pressure is more for the competitors. You know, like the Tinter Battles it's a unique competition because it's, you know, like the Texas Squeegee's own observation was anybody can compete and do well when it's easy to focus. But try to do that whenever you have the pressure, the sound, the live commentary of the tinted one, the Texas Squeegee, and the bright energies, that everything. I mean, when you have that much distraction, cameras pointing at you, people, like everybody on their phones broadcasting this, it's a different kind of pressure. And in fact, you know, one of the things that I've noticed in the previous competitions is that the guys who are the mobile tinters are the ones who tend to perform the best because unknown environment is their environment, right?
Yeah, I think that has held true throughout the different competitions. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
the winners, starting with the first one back in Houston.
Yeah, we go back to Tinter Battles 2021. Of course, we're talking about the Texas Triple Threat, which was Julieta, Boss Lady, Robert the Torture Moreno, and none other than the legendary Mike Nord himself, who won the 3 contests. I mean, who won the official first established Tinter Battles Teams World Championships competition.
And I feel like they especially didn't know what they were getting themselves into that year.
I don't think so either. I mean, Mike, for the most part, Mike was drinking some Heineken throughout the whole event, and then I think he was surprised whenever his name was called out. But man, it's such an incredible moment. We have it on the Tintertainment Facebook's page and also the Tintertainment on YouTube. That incredible moment whenever their name was announced. In fact, you were the announcer for that one.
I was the announcer, and what an exciting event to announce for. I couldn't have been more excited, and I knew the high energy expectation. Of course, it being the first Tinter Battles, I didn't have one to base it off of, but
right.
I thought it was incredible. I mean, there was this moment when it just started, and you know, I looked around, and there's literally the crowd is cheering. Like the crowd is. It's Tinters, it's our peers, it's the community, and they're literally cheering. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy, you know, to see like so many people cheering at a tint competition.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that observation because at the time we had a couple of WWE like legend wrestlers. You know, wrestling was sort of a big influence in the original one, and Shane Douglas was one of the people that were there, and he himself said, like, man, I never would have thought a window tint competition would look like this. Like, he just didn't even know there was competitions in the first place. But then when he was there and he saw how invested the crowd was and how the presentation of the tinters, which at the core of tintertainment was always about elevating the individual tinter themselves to be a star, to be, you know, treated like you're special at a Tinter Battles event. Competitors are like at the one of the most important people in the whole show. And that's where the branding came behind them and stuff like that. But, you know, the way that the Tinter Battles events have evolved, now it's getting into the viewership of like millions of people that are out there. And I think what's really connecting with a lot of people is the presentation of window tinting as a sport, because there is technique involved. I mean, everything that you would think in a sport, there is that technique. It's not so much the athleticism that you would see as like in football or like in MMA, but it's still a physical type of activity that you partake on. And there's a 1000%, there's a lot of technique involved with that.
You know, a moment, I know exactly what you're talking about, because a moment that stopped me in my tracks was the second Tinter Battles in Tinter Battles 22. When the heat shrink battles started, I was kind of buzzing around the place, like, you know, checking this, looking at that. And then I started watching the heat shrink battles, and it was right as it started. And I started watching it. David Dick was the announcer, and I was glued until the end. I couldn't move. It was the only time in the 3 days of the event where I was standing still throughout the entire portion of the you know, the battles.
That was a very special one. The initial launch of the heat shrink battles was in 2022, and at the time it was, you know, brought to you by Ceramic Pro. We had Dane Gregory, the Great Dane, the official guest referee, and we had David Dick, which was the official commentator of the heat shrink battles at that time. And that was a concept that we had established in 2022. You know, it was experimental, but looking back, it was the most exciting, most fun competition that I think I'd ever seen, period, even outside of window tinting. You know, like I used to like football. I don't know if you're a football fan. Are you?
Not a big football fan.
Me neither, but I used to like it. And I could imagine, like, when I used to watch the Super Bowl.
It's better sports these days.
I like MMA or like Tinter Battles.
Exactly. There you go.
So yeah, I remember, like, you know, when you used to cheer for a team and every time that team would score a touchdown or like they would score a point, you would be like, oh, it's so exciting. Mm-hmm. I felt that exact sentiment whenever it came to the heat shrink battles, because, you know, the way we did it at the time, you were drawing different people. So these tinters that you would know about all of a sudden facing each other in a head-to-head battle, that was exciting. You know, and going back to it, I wanted to mention Julian Guzman, which to me, and I will argue this with anybody, just send location, he was the most valuable performer. Like the best performance in 2022 was undoubtedly Julian Guzman. Like, he took on a $25 Wagner heat gun against torches, against Steinels, was beating them out, and he accumulated a 5-0 undefeated streak at the time. You know, then he went on to place second in the finals with his brother out of Julian's Window Tint in Fresno, California. But, you know, going back to the heat shrink battles, he went 5-0, undefeated streak, which is smoking people left and right, until we had Montana, the 10th craftsman, enter the competition.
And I don't know if you remember, I feel like he had to go get his tools or something, but they announced his name, which was super excited because you didn't know who was going to be next. Name was drawn, and then there's a time limit for him to get there in time to compete. And he came in and, you know, brought it.
Yeah, Montana. So the thing that stood out about Montana, I've never seen anybody move a heat gun that quick. Like, it's a different kind of technique. I mean, it's a kind of energy, you know, to move the heat gun that quick. It's funny because he drew a lot of controversy from people that were watching online. And I don't know if anybody who was watching there in person said anything, but I know people watching online was saying that it was a waste of technique, and it's a waste of whatever he was doing. He was doing it wrong. At the end of the day, Montana went 6-0. You can't argue with that record. And if you do want to argue with it, argued in the battleground that heat shrink battles in 2024, right? Because Montana went 6-0, and he was, you know, just one battle after the next. He just kept defending until the victory, until, again, Marco's name got drawn out. I don't know how you felt about the time, but when Marco, the film trainer, got drawn to compete against Montana, I was in the second balcony floor just watching it from the top, and I was like, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh my God, Marco, the film trainer is going to compete against Montana, the tint craftsman, at the heat shrink battles." And then, of course, Marco goes in there and beats Montana.
Unbelievable.
Well, sort of, because Montana was smoking everybody on a Steino. He was using the Steino Hecan to beat everybody else. Marco comes in with a torch. Montana says, "I can beat Marco in his world." He brings out the torch and unfortunately loses it. So is Marco the better shrinker? Or is Montana, did he just make a simple mistake? You know, we don't know. In 2023, they came back, battled each other, and it was drawn. It was a no contest.
So here we are.
So here we are in 2024.
The trilogy.
Well, that's the rumor. Of course, you know, Montana wants to take on Marco, and Marco wants to take on anybody. So Marco just says lining up, and I'll knock him down like a bunch of bowling pins. Hashtag the film trainer. So
is the format of the heat shrink battles going to be what everyone can expect from the previous years? Are there any changes to it?
There's going to be a few tweaks to it. You know, after we've done in 2022, 2023, you know, we changed up a few of the concept, but I think like now we're just going to fine tune it so that it's, you know, fair across the board and truly honor the spirit and the sport of competition. So, you know, with the heat shrink battles in 2023, like that one was something that, you know, it was a lot bigger. And in fact, we have a clip here that we want to show. So go ahead and producer Dennis, roll that clip. We're going to show this clip here for everybody who has
3, 2, 1, let's shrink. That's Robin pulling this down. You know, it's going to be a good one. It's interesting strategy from Sean Cochran to try to take one of the places the competitors, bringing down the challenge from 10 teams down to 9. Oh, there goes Fernando with that super stretch. Oh, man, that makes all the fingers disappear. Fernando says, no way. He is determined to become one of the teams competing against Sean Cochran for the World Championship title of the Tinter Battles. I think Chuck is taking a page out of his playbook. Fernando's playbook. Chuck's doing the same thing. Chuck has been watching. Chuck is one of the announcers of all trades in this history. He is one half of the partners of Jimmy Nance, competing tomorrow for the world titles in genders at starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Wow. And just like that, Chuck Cochran has conquered the bottom of the window. We have Fernando saying, goes to Madagascar. Going. Madagascar versus Steinow weekend. Who's going to win? Chuck Cochran reaching over. Chuck Cochran shrinking those massive fingers. Oof. Chuck Cochran utilizing the full string heading towards that top. Shrinking like a true champ. We have Fernando Sings. It's a close call. Fernando Sings working on his final quadrant. Chuck Cochran having up 3 out of 4 quads. He's moving on to the other one. Oh, Chuck Cochran. Fernando wins. Holding the champ, Fernando. Good job, man. By disqualification, Fernando Sings.
Congratulations, Fernando Sainz, right?
Yes.
Fernando Sainz, he was the inventor of the B-load tool.
Yeah. Have you used it yet?
I've gotten a little bit of some use to it. I mean, I just got the purple one that was sent into the mail.
Special collab he so graciously made with Tint Wiz logo on it.
Yeah, as a bottom loading tool, it actually works pretty good. Like, whenever I first got it, I first saw it, I didn't know exactly how it was going to work, but I've seen a couple of people using it. You stuff it into your door panel and you wedge it back, and it creates the space to slide your film in there.
And how cool is it to be able to purchase a tool that's made by someone in the industry, and that someone is also somebody who a champion at the heat shrink battle. So you're like, they have special techniques, and now you're able to use their tools, the things that they made for themselves in their own shop, and you can use it in your own shop.
It's the I think it just speaks to the type of like professionalism and the world class that Fernando Sainz, brings to these kinds of competitions. And in fact, that technique, he had not been doing it for that long. I don't know if you knew that, but Domi Tint Pro, who is Luis Enriquez, came into the League of Film Trainers, which was a film trainer seminar at Tinter Battles 2023, taught that technique. And then Fernando picked it up during that moment, during the trainings, and then took it to the heat shrink battles and had an incredible success, successful like battle rounds. And he defeated everybody that pretty much he competed against. But like Domi was the one that ended up winning the full heat shrink battle. He's the heat shrink battle champion, world champion of 2023.
World champion, and he walked away with a viral video on his Instagram from Tinter Battles, didn't he?
Yeah, that's actually a very good bring up. I want to highlight the fact that the power of the Tinter Battles content. You had someone like Luis Enriquez who comes in, competes at the heat shrink battles, takes part of one of his videos, uploads it on Instagram, picks up like 30,000 followers. Like insane. I think that video got over like 4 million views. I mean, and I'm sure, whenever I spoke with him, it definitely brought a lot of business. So there was like real world return on him competing at the heat shrink battles. And in fact, if you go to his Instagram, it says up there, heat shrink battle world champion.
Yeah. And the views that he received on that video and the views Tinter Battles has been receiving, with each post now, I just think speaks to what you've said about, window tinting as a sport is entertaining, and not only within the industry, but worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. And it's connecting with a lot of tinters who, they want to be proud of who they are, and they want to be showcased that way. So the Tinter Battles platform is about elevating every single competitor higher than they've ever been elevated before. So I think that's, what a lot of people are connecting to. And in fact, a lot of the interactions and comments that people are dropping by, they're non-tinters, so it's also serving an educational aspect. Like many times I've seen the comments where they say, it's like, I thought tint goes on the inside. And it's like, well, it does, but this is a heat shrink battles. And then I explained that in the tinting process, you got to shape the film and you can damage the film along the way. This is a competition that tests the speed while maintaining quality.
And something that's been spoken about just over and over for as long as I can remember is consumer awareness, right? And when you think about consumer awareness, you might think about traditional ways through commercials and advertisements and maybe vehicle sponsorships. But what better way to put window tint on somebody's mind than through, a sporting event, through entertainment, through tintertainment?
Nice. I see
that's what it is. But that's what it is, right? Like,
It is 1000%. It's bringing the entertainment into the window tinting, and so when he picked up, Fernando Sainz picked up that technique, which was very controversial on the Tinternet. People went wild because they said that this film would never lay on the inside if you shrunk it that way, which I just completely disagree. And look, I'm going to say this right now. If you stretch the film and the film is laying on the exterior, and it stays that way without the help of any adhesive tacking it, it's going to lay on the inside. And if you disagree with me, let me know in the comment sections below so we can take this outside of the Tinternet. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, no, but Fernando picked up that during the League of Film Trainers seminar at Tinter Battles 2023, which was probably one of the most voted valuable segments of the entire event. When we hosted the survey at the very end of it, most people that went there, they really, really appreciated the League of Film Trainers, which was obviously, like, at the time was a collaboration effort from industry-wide participation of film brands participating in this educational seminar, nominating their film trainers in almost like never before done. Like if you were an XPEL dealer or if you were an Autobahn dealer, but you wanted to train with the guy from 3M, you couldn't do that. But at Tinter Battles 2023, you were allowed to do that. And that was like a very unique experience that a lot of people spoke to and they really, really liked.
I believe it's training unlike any other experience, because where do you get the diversity of trainers, like you said, across different brands, different films, different techniques, and a 3-day laid back environment to get that one-on-one or small group, environment, like questions, answers, and hands-on.
Yeah, like the amount of people that came out of it saying, like, I'm going to heat shrink the rear windows on Toyota Camry. Still to this day, I shrink them this way. Like, I mean, we see those comments of people that are still, shrinking and stuff like that. But, League of Film Trainers is now rebranded to the Film Trainer Seminar. And that's going to happen at Tinter Battles 2024 at the Wiz Castle. Yet again, bringing it back with industry-wide film trainers present to train on not only automotive window tinting, paint protection films, the addition of flat glass films, and a new sector, a growing sector in our industry, which is windshield protection films, will also be available for training at Tinter Battles 2024 live at the Wiz Castle in Orlando, Florida on April the 18th through the 20th, home of the all for one and one
for all
ticket. Anyways, so like, Tinter Battles 23 was the home of all for one for all ticket. One ticket gets you registration to everything. And speaking of registration to everything, let's go over with the event real quick. Last year, a lot of people were like ranting in a positive way and raving about the food that we had for Tinter Battles 2023. Banquet style food. I mean, we had a whole roasted pig and everything like that. But that's one of the unique things about Tinter Battles is we keep people fed pretty well. Make it convenient for everybody.
I mean, like you said, this is an experience. And, like anytime you get a chance, like maybe at a dealer meeting prior to sit down and, speak with, just network and speak with peers and so on. Those are some of the most valuable times. So, putting importance on the meals and making the meals not just a meal, but again, like an experience, not just from the quality of the food, but from the way that it brings people together, and being able to do that breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 days. I think, there's so many dimensions to Tinter Battles. This is one of the very, big ones to me.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of the focal points when it comes to the average person that's going to go to these events is we want to make it really like an experience for them. And so we want to make it as convenient as possible for the person showing up. There's like literally almost nothing else that you need to do other than learn, educate yourself, and obviously enjoy the tintertainment that's going to be a part of the event. So, the Film Trainer Seminar is coming back to Tinter Battles 2024, and we're going to be releasing a lot more of the trainers after the year has turned over, to announce who's going to be training there and what exactly they're going to be doing. So, going back on the heat shrink battles is obviously going to have a strong presence this year. This year, the heat shrink battles demand was so high, we decided to open up the brought to you buys to more than just one company, because we wanted for people to have a diversification of what films they wanted to compete on, because ultimately we want to see the people's best shrink. Like, if you're the best shrinker, I want to see that at the competition. If you're the best torch shrinker, best heat gun shrinker, best flamethrower, if you use a lighter fluid, if you use a hair dryer, I don't care what you use, bring it to the event, and I want to see your best versus everybody else's best. And Heat Shrink Battles in 2024 is brought to you by XPEL and Autobahn in a first ever collaboration at the Battleground at Tinter Battles 2024.
Oh, it just adds another element to the battles, I feel like.
You think so?
2 sponsors instead of 1?
I mean, it's yeah.
So I mean, you get to go
battles.
up and you get to decide between a torch or a heat gun, but you also get to decide between XPEL or Autobahn film when you're going to battle.
That's exactly it. Like so there's a heat shrinker out there who is very notorious for putting out heat shrinking videos, extremely talented. And if you had to ask the Texas Squeegee one, I think my money is going to be on him to win. It's, of course, I'm talking about none other than Tint Buster founder Elio Albello, who constantly be putting out those heat shrinking windows. Now he uses a torch, and specifically a MAP gas torch, which burns a little bit hotter than your traditional propane torches. Marco can speak a lot more to this, but just when you see Ellie competing, he's one of the shrinkers that I want to see him compete. Unfortunately, the last 2 years it evaded him. We were drawing competitors, and for whatever reason, just as luck had it, he wasn't able to draw to compete. But I'm here to announce officially that Elio Albello will have a battle round to compete at Tinter Battles 2024. And of course, he's going to be using none other than Autobahn window films. He's one of their top ambassadors, it seems like.
Yeah. His name has come up a lot with the heat shrink battles.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the only person predicting his potential victory. Who do you think if it wasn't him, who do you think would give him the hardest run for his money?
I don't know. Like normally it's interesting because technically one of the best performances I was out there was Montana.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Montana, who went 6-0. Marco beat him. Now, Marco at the time was very active as a window tinter, not so much anymore. So I'm sure he might have to,
right, and
lubricate his joints a little bit and kind of shake off the rust. But I've been talking with Marco. He said that he's really going to take this competition really serious. He says he can't wait to get in there, and he's going to be practicing a lot. Marco says, I don't care who you put in front of me, I'm going to be ready for the best.
It's like a bison just running through people, probably. Right?
I mean, of course, but you can't forget about Montana, the tint craftsman, either. No. Montana had an incredible performance. Technically, he still has the most undefeated streak that happened in 2022.
And then, so for anybody wanting to compete in the heat shrink competition, they just need their ticket or anything else?
That's it. Just need your ticket. Just get your registration, show up to the event, and then get ready to battle. Like I said, this year we're setting aside 3 hours of total competition. So, anybody that wants to go there, train in advance, of course, because this is going to be elite level competitions. But, register your ticket. You're there. You're going to show up to the event, and you'll be able to compete, against the best shrinkers out there in the world. In fact, this idea of finding the best in the world just keeps coming back. And as we started to gain a lot more interest online, we are officially launching an online virtual Tinter Battles competition tournament on our Facebook group. Those who are not familiar with our Facebook group, it's going to be Window Tint Competitions. Just go on the search bar, search for groups, Window Tint Competitions. You can't miss the branding. It's Tintertainment all the way. But that competition is going to launch in January. And the idea with that competition is to literally find the absolute best tinters in the world. I don't want these people to be held back by financial challenges or through continental challenges or seas or anything. Like, I want to find the absolute best shrinker, bring them to the event. I don't care if you use a heat gun or a torch. I want to see that person competing against the best that goes at Tinter Battles. I genuinely really do want to find who's the best shrinker, because maybe some of the techniques that are out there, we don't even know that they exist.
So through this virtual competition, the winner will be able to get 2 Tinter Battles. Fully paid trip to Tinter Battles.
Fully paid, fully sponsored by Tint Wiz as an official Tint Wiz competitor to the Heat Shrink Battles, to the Tinter Battles event. But, they'll obviously be able to compete at the Heat Shrink Battles. And this is like, an effort to truly find, like, where is the best tinter? We wanted to eliminate the challenges of getting them to compete. So this is going to be an online virtual window tinting competition. The way that this is going to work, and if you want to put this is going to be the Facebook group cover. So when you log in and you see this cover on a group, that's the group that you want to join in order to compete. This is going to be a public group, so anything that gets posted on here can be shared outside of it. The rules itself are going to be pretty simple, but they're going to be very strict because this is a video. So let's go into the next screen right there. So this right here, what each competitor is going to need to do, they're going to be training. Sorry, man, the Heat Shrink Battles is getting to my head now. They're going to be competing.
Yeah.
On the back window of a car, any standard 4-door sedan 2010 model and up. And yes, you heard it right. Any standard 4-door sedan. Those are the rules. So be strategic in what vehicle you select. You can choose your shrink. Any style is welcome. So heat guns, torches, anything that maybe we haven't even seen before, you can use that one to compete. Now, the way that we're going to be taking these times in, it's the fastest shrink. Similar to the heat shrink battles you're going to be competing on at Tinter Battles 2024. You have to time your shrink and you have to record the shrink. The timer has to be visible at all times. You can't, if that timer gets out of it, then we can't count that as a video to consider to log it in. So that's going to be one of the very important things, because the competition itself, you're going to have to heat shrink and card it properly. You can't leave any excess film behind. And we're going to be pretty strict about that, because we're not going to get into this. Oh, it'll lay. No. Like, if you have a lot of tension behind, shrink it down and then time it. Okay. All right. Makes sense?
It makes total sense.
All right. Well, then basically that's what it's going to be. January, this is going to launch at Window Tint Competitions group. This is going to be the scoreboard that we're going to be having on the Facebook group. So you can see right there, fastest shrinker. You're going to see the tinter's name at the very top, the time of whatever they shrunk, and then the vehicle tool, style, and film. Then we're going to have in the second and the third place winners. We're launching the first one for 2 weeks. So during that 2 week period, you can enter as many times as you'd want to. So if you were the fastest shrinker on the particular day, but somebody else beat you and you want to go back and choose an easier car, you have all the ability to do it. And if you shrunk on the back window of a Toyota Camry and someone on the back window of a Honda Accord beats you, don't sit there and complain. Go find a Honda Accord and beat them again. How bad do you really want it? Go to a Honda dealership. And while you're at it, tint one of their vehicles for the competition and strike a deal and get that dealership account. You're welcome.
I'm super looking forward to seeing these entries. And I just love how innovative of a competition this is. Because like you said, it's, it takes away all those boundaries of having to travel and be in person and so on. And it's so outside the box. And I can't wait to see who takes the victory, and we'll be seeing them at Tinter Battles.
I can't wait to see the heat shrinking like techniques more than anything. That's the thing that I enjoy seeing the most. It's just the creativity and the window tinters and the ability to compete at their best form. And
like you just said, those videos in turn create entertainment, but also education, because you're watching those techniques, you're learning from them. Everybody's learning from them. And it's a way to, entertain and educate in such a fun way. So I couldn't be, more looking forward to the contest, and also proud to be a sponsor. Thanks for creating it. Oh, absolutely. Can't wait to see this happening. Bringing it back just one final time with Montana, the tint craftsman, and Marco, the film trainer, Cazorla, is going to be the official establishment of the trilogy, which is Montana versus the tint craftsman, Montana the tint craftsman versus Marco the film trainer, Cazorla, happening live on April the 18th through the 20th at Tinter Battles. What a rivalry they've built. I can't imagine the tension, both of them, when they leading up to that. I mean, who do you think is going to take this one? Eric, who do you think, who would your money be on if you had to put a bet on somebody? I feel like Montana is going to be getting the reps in. He's getting the reps in probably every single day, thinking about this heat shrink battle with every single car he tints, and he's coming for it, whereas like you said, Marco's probably not tinting as many cars as he has, but he's going to be a fierce competitor. It's going to be a too close one to call, I would say. Yeah, that competition, Montana versus Marco, is going to be the opening battle at the heat shrink battles whenever we launch it, because we need to find out exactly who the better shrinker is going to be. Is it Marco or is it Montana? This is a 2-year going on 3-year feud between these two incredible world-class shrinkers. Right. It's about time we start figuring out who is it going to be. It's the great trilogy in the sport. That's a great trilogy in the sport, of course. Competitors, they're going to be allowed to choose their shrink style, but I'm very much looking forward to this myself personally. I'm very much looking forward to this battle to kick off the heat shrink battles in 2024. Oh yeah. So, now, anyways, moving on to the next one, we have additional competitions that we're adding to the whole event. One of them being the Squeegee battles themselves, of course. Now, Squeegee battles is a new concept for competition. It's designed to test the speed and the technique of squeegeeing flat glass. So you ever see those squeegee guys online, and they kind of do all these fancy stuff? Of course. Well, then that's not going to be made into a competition. The competition itself is going to be having a full glass, fully lathered, so it's all white. The contest is the objective. You have to beat your opponent to squeegeeing everything down. Now, here's a trick. Once that squeegee touches that glass, you cannot lift it or you get disqualified. So everything has to be fully squeegeed with a single pass, single pattern. However you want to do it, it's up to the competitor themselves. But the objective is to beat their competitor or their opponent and not leave any streaks behind, not leave any water behind, and may the best squeegeer win. For clarity, can they lift or they can't lift the squeegee, but can they go back? Like you said, one single pass. Mm-hmm. So once you've kind of passed something, you're done potentially. No, you can go back. You can go back as long as you don't lift the squeegee. As long as you don't lift the squeegee. It's one single pass. So, speed may not always win it per se. Right. Because you can be fast and sloppy, and then you left streaks and everything like that behind. It's not going to count. Like if that happens and you left a squeegee off, you're just disqualified. But the exciting thing about this one, though, this is where the Texas Squeegee was getting a little bit entertained with this. I've seen most of the people online that get popular for squeegeeing windows, it's actually not window tinters. It's window cleaners.
those guys have a different set of techniques. So in the world of window tinting, where you see window tinters just boasting like, I'm the best tinter ever and like nobody can take me down.
We have a world champion joining us shortly.
Alleged award-winning tinter. But of course, you know, he's a flat glass tinter himself. We'll get his thoughts here shortly. But the Squeegee Battles is going to be a competition that is not only open to just window tinters, they're open to window cleaners.
Interesting.
And an ultimate clash of squeegee styles at the Squeegee Battles. And of course, Squeegee Battles is brought to you by none other than Solar Effects for 2024. Solar Effects team is going to bring the effects to the Squeegee Battles at Tinter Battles competitions. So this is first time Solar Effects is participating at this competition. You know, like we recently saw Julian Guzman, who reps Solar Effects. Now he's going to have the full support of the Solar Effects team backing him. And, you know, whether Julian Guzman competes at the Heat Ring Battles or the Squeegee Battles or anywhere else, I think he's now going to have a lot more support than he did in 2022. And that may elevate him to the championship status.
Oh, it without a doubt will, you know, having the support of your manufacturer, like brands that you do business with, tool companies, film companies, CRMs, I believe, you know, it's important to go support your dealers and at an event like this, right? They're competing. It's like, you know, you got to be there.
Well, you got to have people in your corner.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's you. I mean, there's going to be a pressure, but sometimes whenever you look behind your shoulders and you've got your support team back there and they're like rooting you on, like it's something that it gives you that extra push to truly bring out the best version of you. Otherwise, you know, other times, sometimes some competitors defeat themselves in their mind before they even enter the battleground. And you know, I think Julian this time he's going to have a lot more support. You know, he wasn't at 2023. He was in 22. Wasn't at 23, but now he's coming back to 2024. And Julian, to me, is one of my favorite tinters. And I'm not saying it just because, you know, like it's Julian, but to me, whenever I saw his performance in 2022, I think a lot of people and a lot of old schoolers, he gained a lot of their respect because the fact that he performed that well at the Heat Ring Battles and in the finals, and now he's coming back in 2024, obviously with 2 more years of experience. Not only that, but he also has 1 Tinter battle under his belt. You know, he's coming back to a familiar place this time, a lot more experience now.
Right. He's definitely gonna have the nerves advantage because I'm sure his nerves will be calm since he's been there, done that, and a lot of time to prepare to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one of the other competitions that we are also adding into the Tinter Battles competition roster is going to be, of course, the flat glass battles. Now, this flat glass battles test technique and speed on installing film on a flat piece of glass. It's a head-to-head challenge, just like in traditional Tinter Battles format. But this time, this one is bringing on for the first time another participating sponsor, which is Johnson Window Films, stepping into the battleground arena, providing the films for these incredible world-class competitors to compete on. Now, flat glass battles is a competition where it's head-to-head, rolling out the film, reverse rolling it, slapping it on the glass, squeegeeing it down, and the first competitor that completes that task without damaging the film, without creasing it, without anything, wins that round. It's coming to the Tinter Battles 2024 flat glass battles brought to you by Johnson Window Films. Now, speaking of which, you know, I'm assuming there's going to be some flat glass tinters going to be competing at this thing. Flat glass tinters, like, you know, people that maybe have never been to a Tinter Battles before, or maybe you may have a Chuck Cochran who's like jack of all trades who may come into the flat glass battle, or perhaps you might have Mike Powell and Kyle Whalen, the world champions of Tinter Battles Automotive Division.
That'll be something.
Coming in to perhaps be the double champs.
Champs.
Being the double champs. Now, of course, a lot of new competitors who are more flat glass focused will be competing at Tinter Battles 2024. So, you know, without further ado, I'd like to bring in one of the competitors that's going to be at Tinter Battles.
World champion.
Erik Devash, you interrupt me one more time like that, and you're going to see your way out of it. Anyways, we have one of the world-class competitors coming here for Tinter Battles 2024 out of California, none other than the award-winning owner of Prime Window Films, Flat Glass, Joe Gooseman.
What's up, guys?
There we go. I got you some nice. What is this? Participation trophy? What do we got?
First place.
First place.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. First podcast. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is a baby right here. First place, baby. What do you think?
It seems like your most prized possession. You walk around with it all the time like that?
All day, every day, baby.
Yeah?
I just slapped up 800 square feet, remove, replace. I take it with me in the car. I take it out when I'm working so everybody can see what's going on, who I am. All day, baby.
Good thing it's made out of plastic, dude.
That's gold. That's real gold.
Oh, is it?
Careful with that. Yeah. Don't got your feet a little too close to that.
Yeah. Well, look, hey, Erik, he was obviously very proud of, you and Erik. What's the relation here with, am I missing something? What's going on?
I've known Joe for many years. We used to work together. He's an incredible installer. I've seen him in action for many, many, many years. I've seen him hang off of ledges and tint everything. The tallest ladders, the highest scaffolding.
Yeah. We took on some challenges for sure in the past and made it happen.
Joe's a killer installer. How many years have you been installing?
Going on 20 years now, believe it or not.
And how old are you?
So now I got to count 37.
So since you're 17 years old, you've been
He couldn't
tinting
count
flat
up to
glass.
37. World champion. What is that? What you call world
Sorry.
champion?
He's focused on tinting, not counting.
I'm thinking
man.
square feet right now. My bad, dude. I'm thinking of tomorrow's job. Just keep going.
Just put it on Tint Wizdom and it does it for you. Don't worry about it.
I know. Where's my phone?
Well, so look, Joe, we have, obviously we're adding flat glass to the Tinter Battles presentations and the competitions and stuff like that. You're one of the competitors that was mentioned a lot, from your recent winnings at a previous competition, coming now to Tinter Battles. The Texas Squeegee has a question for you. You've obviously built a name for yourself, but you've never competed under the pressures, under the lights, under the sound, the commentating of the Texas Squeegee before. Tinter Battles is pressure unlike you've ever seen. Do you feel like that previous experience is going to help you in the Tinter Battles?
I don't know. I've been to the Tinter Battles last year. Awesome show. Continues to get better from what I've seen online, and I feel the pressure is the same.
Joe, you've worked with people shouting in your ear before, haven't you?
All day. When
It won't be the
when I
first
used to
time.
work with him, he was right here with David on
It's
this
not
side.
true.
That's
not true. That's not true.
Yeah, 100%. But definitely, I'm used to the pressure. I mean, bring it, baby. I'm here to take first place and take your guys' what are you guys gonna have? Some trophies as well?
No,
paycheck?
no,
What are we doing? Free car?
We're having world titles.
World
That's going to be the ultimate prize at Tinter Battles 24.
I'll take it.
Unveiling world title. You want to make Tinter Battles or Window Tint history? You take that title over there. And trust me, you might even go viral. Get a couple jobs out of that.
Yes. That's what we're shooting for here.
Now we have Squeegee Battles coming up, and I'm assuming you're familiar with the concept there, right? It's squeegeeing technique. Once that squeegee touches the glass, can't lift it. You have to squeegee everything thoroughly. So if you leave a streak, doesn't count.
Got it.
If you leave a streak and you lift it, that's it. You're disqualified.
So how does it go for the edges? I mean, normally when you clean, you wipe first and then you squeegee.
You can do that. So what we're going to be doing is that top section, we're going to be wiping it down so there's no drips. But if there is drips, like that's obviously understandable. But if you're squeegeeing and you leave like certain streaks or certain things on the edges, you're out. Yeah, disqualified. It's gonna be pretty strict. Do you feel like that your experience in window tinting is going to help you?
100%. I've been squeegeeing windows quite some time now, so I don't think I'll have any struggle in that department for sure.
Do you feel like any potential window cleaners coming in and like taking the title from window tinters? Like, how do you feel about that? Because that's a very real possibility. I mean, I've seen when it comes to squeegee on glass, flat glass, I've seen way more impressive videos from the window cleaners. Window tinters, impressive, Texas Squeegee being the main one. But window cleaners, obviously, it's like they're fast.
You know what, Texas? They make cute videos. I work. I actually get it done. So, I mean, I could do a couple hard little Mickey Mouse things for you too. Just let me know when, where, and we'll get it done. Tinter Battles, let's go. That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
The confidence of a window tinter versus a window cleaner, ladies and gentlemen, coming to Tinter Battles 24.
And I hope they're going to be there because I'm actually in need of some preppers, so maybe we could work something out. If you're out in California, get at me, Prime Window Films. Woo, plug.
Oh my God. Flat glass Joe Guzman going into Tinter Battles 24. Like, that's not the only flat glass competition. We have the flat glass battles themselves too, which is, rolling out the film off a handler, rolling it up, reverse rolling onto a flat piece of glass, squeegeeing it down. You got to beat your opponent without damaging that film.
Is that within the same line of competition?
Oh yeah. That's a different challenge.
Oh,
Squeegee battles is one of them. Flat glass battles is another one.
What are the rules of that?
I mean, you just got to roll out the film.
That's it.
Roll out the film from a handler, roll it up, and install it on a flat piece of glass. You got to line up your top edges, roll it out on the glass, squeegee everything down thoroughly, and then call time.
I've never done that before.
Nobody's ever done that before.
And now the winners of these competitions will go on to the main flat glass competition.
Oh yeah. There's a flat glass finals. We're taking the top 3 from Squeegee Battles, the top 3 from flat glass battles, and they'll compete at the flat glass finals at Tinter Battles 2024.
What films are going to be provided for the flat glass?
Johnson
for the finals?
No, finals is anybody who's a participating sponsor can.
Right. So Solar Effects is a sponsor of the Squeegee that, and then we got Johnson for the
Johnson.
flat
We have
glass.
Yeah, of course we have Audubon as well. If they want to put in their films, pretty much anybody who's a participating sponsor, have your films as selection.
There's Expel too.
Yep.
I'm guessing.
Expel.
Yeah.
Yep. Expel with the Vision line. They're going to be able to have that there at the
Beautiful.
event.
Do you have a brand in mind, Joe, that you'd like to compete with?
I mean, no, you can give me any film. I'm gonna make it happen. 100%.
Yeah.
Not to bash on any companies out there, but I mean, the one that I prefer, I like Avery Dennison, you know, the company out here, Quest One, big distributor for me, and always making it happen for me too, you know? So yeah, definitely Avery
Shout out
Dennison.
Caesar.
Shout out to Caesar. That's right.
Well, this is going to be a clear, dry adhesive film too, so you should be able to like snap it.
Just
Yeah.
let it
Yeah.
roll.
Joe, in all seriousness, are you going to do anything to do you have anything planned as far as preparation for the Tinter Battles?
I just keep doing what I'm doing, you know, daily grind. What is it going to be timed to? I'm guessing. How's the judging happening
For the finals,
Yeah, is it similar to like other competitions? Because this is you guys' first year doing
the judging, let's just put it this way. The judging would be similar, but the competition itself is not going to be. You know, like he was saying over there, world champion stuff. Like he was kind of flapping his little gums on my ear, talking about.
Joe, I don't know why he talks you down.
I know, what is it with this?
No, I'm not trying to talk him down. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna walk around with this trophy talking about world champion, like you gotta be put through the ringer.
You saw him installed.
Watch that.
You installed alongside of him before.
Yeah.
With Tim Kennedy. What did you think?
Are you gonna be competing?
Yeah, but we did a window you could pull the seals off of. Anybody can make that window look good.
Oh, that's
okay. Fair.
Anybody can make that window look. No. Look, at Tinter Battles, you're going to be tested on overall knowledge, you know, setting up scaffolds, setting up a film handler, your acumen and your preciseness and accuracy when it comes to windows.
Real quick, so you brought the film handler. So will you guys be providing all the film handlers, or how?
No, you got to fly with it on the airplane.
No problem.
Carry on.
I got the jet. I keep it in there. So with the tanks.
No, we'll have film handlers. We'll have plenty of film handlers there.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, provided
Back to
for
what
everybody.
you were saying.
Yeah, so I mean, flat glass finals is going to be an obstacle course.
I'm ready.
How do you
Ready.
feel
Doing
about
my
that?
push-ups.
It's an obstacle
Let's
course.
get it done. Will you be competing?
No.
No.
This competition's got to be fair. If I compete, I'm gonna beat
Are you
everybody.
scared?
Are any of these flat glass competitions like team competitions?
Yeah, the flat
Good
glass
question.
finals.
The finals is. So you have a teammate from your past world championship,
That's right.
Marcus.
Award
Marcus Quintana.
Marcus Quintana,
That's right.
shout out.
What's up, brother?
Do you think you'd like to compete with him again?
Of course.
Is there anybody else in mind, or
Nobody in mind, but yeah, he's definitely a good person to
so it is
team
a
up with and
teams
make it happen.
competition.
Yeah. So how's the team thing work?
So if you place in the finals, you have the ability to select your partner.
Just
So-
for one glass?
No, what do you mean?
Well, for the finals
Oh, no. Finals is going to be a teams competition.
teams.
Yeah. There's certain things.
You just said that. I know.
I know. But I'm saying
finals, like we're both gonna tint one glass, or
sort of.
Is it
Let's
a
just-
surprise?
It's a surprise.
Got
Let's put it that way. You're
okay.
going to need two people.
Okay.
You're
Perfect.
tinting technically two panes on one window, but you're going to need two people. Just put it that way. So
Sounds
you're going to need a
interesting.
team. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
you may want to practice.
Very okay. You got it.
See, but like the window that we're competing on is going to be residential style. It's not going to be commercial style where you can pull seals off of and hide your cuts. Like, no way.
Oh, sounds
No.
like French pans. You guys are trying to.
No, not French panes. Maybe not, but
No,
but you know,
I hope
just-
We're gonna have carpet for you to cut them on.
great. That's perfect.
just stay tuned at Tinter Battles.
yeah. Have some fans on while we're doing it. You know.
No. I like look. A lot of ideas get thrown about like, oh, you should make them hanging off of a building. I'm like, no, look.
that's wild.
Like we obviously the
Who said that?
competition. It has to be you have to make the competition. Honestly, you got to honor the sport of the window tint competition, but it can't be easy.
Right.
You can't walk around being a world champion when you tucked away your cuts behind certain things. You got what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So you got to be tested. You
Yeah,
got to be like, you
100%.
got to be proven to the test. Like, iron meets iron at Tinter Battles 2024.
Yes, sir.
So looking forward to seeing you there. Correct.
Correct. 100%.
All right. You're going to walk out with the belts.
I'm going to have this thing right here walking around champion, baby.
Hopefully you get a new one by then.
Like,
Hopefully you win a new one at Tinter Battles is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm going to win there. So
Yeah?
That's the reason I'm going. Yeah, that's right.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
What's all this doubt you got?
Joe, if
what
you
is
don't
this?
win the next podcast, this guy is going to be.
It's going to be bashing me like he is now.
I mean,
Nothing's changing. What's going on?
I've worked next to Flat Glass Joe.
I know, but he's a world-class world champion
Put some
window tinter, and
Some
you talk
respect
to
on
him
my
like
name, bro. You know?
you talk to him like he's Jake Paul or something. Like,
Oh,
I mean, he
Don't
walks
offend
around
me.
like he's been tested. Like you haven't been tested on flat glass.
for 20 years, he's been installing flat
No,
glass.
but that's
there's
different.
no
like no,
difference
this
just 'cause it's
you
Tinter
can't
Battles.
compare it to
What's
a Tinter
different?
Battles
Yeah.
pressure. Like it just doesn't compare.
Oh, that's fair, but that's fair that it's not Tinter Battles.
First of all,
but he's
you're
still a
having-
world champion.
You're having a bunch of Karens that are going to be judging it. So
Ooh.
you complain about like one
Who?
customer being bad. Imagine
Ooh.
having multiple of them,
Ooh.
and then
The
you're on top
judges
of
are all
that.
named Karen.
No, but they're Karen status.
Got
Karen
it, got
status.
it. Okay.
They're going to be
Cool.
like very minute on everything. Like that. Just be ready. Let's just put
No
it that way.
problem. No
Be
problem.
ready
Haven't had
because-
little
Hey,
chalk markers.
Joe's
you know?
ready. The tagline is, if you still see it, it's on the outside.
Yeah. Clean your glasses. You know what I mean?
If you see it, it's on the outside.
That'll dry in about
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that must be
You
on the
know?
outside.
If it's there, I didn't mark it on the paper. Let me mark it real
Hey,
quick.
can you clean
know?
the outside? No, we don't do that.
Easy. Yeah. Where's that cleaning guy at? You know?
Yeah.
Get the cleaning crew out here to clean it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go back to the training room and get prepared for Tinter Battles,
Oh my
and then
God.
we'll see. You walk
Look at
around
this
with
guy.
like
Joe,
puffing,
thank you for
he's
doing this,
puffing his
Joe.
chest. He's walking up here like world champion material. Nah, we'll see if you're world champion material.
What is it with this
I'll
guy?
make sure this guy truly gets tested. He's gonna earn that title come Tinter Battles 2024 in Orlando, Florida.
No faith. No faith, this guy. You know that?
He's got the faith all in the world. I'm just saying.
That's my boy right
I'm saying. I've seen
there.
many.
Because he knows. He knows.
Nah, you know who I got my money on for this one? I got on Chuck.
Let's hear
Cochran.
it. Who?
Chuck Cochran certainly
Chuck
is
Cochran.
Oh, Chuck's my boy too.
Yeah.
But Chuck's good at doing security. Or will that be something that's going to be in the competition? We're doing security?
It may be. We'll see.
Oh, well, if we're doing Dow, maybe he gets second place.
Maybe.
Maybe, because I'm taking
Oh,
first.
God.
Jesus.
No disrespect to
Joe.
Chuck. You know, no
Oh,
disrespect
God.
to Chuck.
Now
baby,
I feel like you
know?
kind of maybe
Oh.
set your.
Oh,
sorry.
God, my
Are you gonna
hands
use
starting
the-
to shake. Chuck Cochran's coming through.
Oh, Chucky.
I can't do that to my boy Chuck. Like I got to defend Chuck Cochran.
For
like
sure.
Chuck is the
Chuck's good,
champ.
man.
Joe, your finger
he's really
method, I
good.
don't know.
Well,
It'll be one of those things
What is
taught
that?
at
What do you
the,
mean?
it's
What's a
always
finger
worked
at the
for
League
me.
of Trainers.
What's the finger method? What is that?
That's Joe's.
It's a
Yeah, Joe.
secret. You know secrets.
It'll be taught at the League of Trainers at
Yeah.
the film training seminar.
Yeah.
Is that
For
like
3
for
days,
security
Joe.
film? Like
Yeah.
the dowel bead?
Exactly.
You know,
No way.
Before Chuck's amazing tools were created. And,
AccuGlaze.
yeah.
Shout out
AccuGlaze.
AccuGlaze.
Shout out to
Thank you
AccuGlaze.
for the tools,
That's a
too.
legitimate tool.
That's
They're
the right way to
amazing
do it.
tools.
Yeah.
And,
Joe.
Prior to that, people still got it done. I think I started with security film and like vinyls, dusted crystal. That's what I like for the first 2-3 years. That's all I did. So even when it came to Dow, I mean, tape, finger it, clean, nice and smooth, baby. I don't know why you're getting all weird over here when I say that. Say it again.
This
Tape, finger it.
this is world champion
Joe,
material.
I feel like if you would have left 3 minutes ago, it
Oh.
would have been on a high note. And then the second the security film started being
Oh,
discussed,
man.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
it's like you have a shovel instead of a squeegee right now.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you just-
but I got those great tools now. So
Jesus.
now there's no excuses. Everything looks clean and perfect. So for sure.
Oh, I think we are definitely in for a treat to see you tinting, my friend.
Definitely.
Hopefully you
will
bring
be.
that. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us here on this podcast and being
Thank you very
Joe,
much.
thank you.
incredible
Thank you
host.
guys.
Looking forward to this. Go ahead.
Careful with that.
Sorry about Carlos.
There we go.
Oh, man, please.
Oh, no
Thank you.
apologies.
Thank you very
No
much. I'll be
apologies.
right back. All right. Be back.
All right. So, wow.
All right.
So Flat Glass Joe competing. It might be a
Why are
very
you giving such a hard time?
I wasn't giving him a hard time. I was just trying to bring him down to reality. You kept hyping him up, talking about world champion. No. Don't bring that world champion nonsense over here. World champion is a person who's been tested through multiple challenges, has been tested through multiple styles, multiple techniques, multiple challenges, and has earned their way to the world championship. Not some guy that walks around with some Mickey Mouse trophy that he bought off the dollar store, probably.
Oh, he's still here. He can hear you.
No,
You know,
no, he's
Dude,
no, he's not.
He's
right
just
here.
there. He didn't leave yet.
Wait.
Dude, I can still hear you.
Well, what do you mean? That's you're bringing in this trophy.
Live
Joe.
right now, dude. You're not gonna disrespect me.
You're bringing in this trophy
These are
here
my fans
to
too,
the
bro.
Tinter Battles
You know what I
podcast,
mean?
and like,
Sorry, Erik.
what
Joe,
is it?
just
You bring this
Just get out of here.
Hey,
this right here.
Hey, careful.
I
careful
want
with
everybody.
that.
Look, this right
Careful
here.
with that.
This is what you call this. This. Hey, what you? Hey. The hell gives him the right to come over to the
Carlos,
Tinter Battles podcast,
you can't do that.
messing with the Texas Squeegee.
It's
Look, I think if anything, I think I proved something right here
calm down.
and right
You're
now.
screaming into
This
the
was
mic.
plastic
Carlos,
and from a fake world champ. Was this planned by you this whole time?
no,
Huh?
calm down. Joe's a good
I fly
guy.
out here, I come out all
He's
this
a
way.
good guy.
It doesn't matter who Flat Glass Joe is. All I know is that at Tinter Battles 2024, he will be put to the test. And if he thinks that this type of pressure is breaking him as it is right now, oh, he's got a lot to look for with the heat shrink battles and the flat glass battles and the squeegee battles and the
Sure.
flat glass finals coming to Tinter Battle.
You're bleeding.
Oh, no way.
Carlos, you hit your head. What are you doing? Oh,
Did he-
my- Definitely. You got hit with the, I think with the metal on the
Oh,
trophy,
there is absolutely no
on the
way
world
that
championship trophy.
Flat Glass Joe Guzman made the Texas Squeegee bleed excellence. There's absolutely no way this is going to continue. Look, as a matter of fact, we're going to end the show right here. For those who are wanting to tune in, you can follow us at Tinter Battles and tune in for the live stream. You can visit tintertainment.com, get your registration ticket today before it sells out. Watch the streaming show at Tinter Battles platforms, and I'll see you on the next one. Squeegee that.